So it was during our first vision trip. Lynn and I, we had dinner with a couple that was from Toronto, and we had a great, fantastic evening. And it was probably about halfway through our conversation that night that Linda just kind of withdrew. She got code to the conversation and just kind of stopped talking altogether. And that's pretty odd for Linda. And so after we had dinner, after we said byes and paid our bill, after a little bit, I asked Linda what happened and why did she grow code, why did she stop talking? And she explained to me that if we were going to plant a church in Toronto, it was going to be very difficult because that couple and the people all around us seemed very happy and successful without Jesus. And how were we going to share Jesus with people who weren't asking to learn more about Him, to know Him? And at that point, I realized the difficulty in the depth of our call to come to plant a church in Toronto. And so it was at that point that I turned to her and said, well, they're the reason why we need to be here.
Toronto is a city that is undergoing massive changes. The population is increasing, the city's influence is increasing, and right now the city is focused on an area called Regent Park. The area that we're starting Trinity Life in is a diverse area, socioeconomically, religiously, ethnically, and there are many organizations that have moved into this area, businesses, nonprofits that have the purpose of revitalizing the area, of transforming the area. So in many ways, God has chosen this area for us, and He is moving here. The Spirit is moving in Regent Park and is moving through Trinity Life in this area. And we want to partner with these organizations. We want to infuse the gospel with what they're doing for the community, because the people here, they're seeking identity, they're seeking truth, and we have that to offer them in the gospel. It's been truly amazing to see God at work since we've been here in Toronto. You know, God didn't start working when I moved here, when Daniel moved here. He's been working, and we've seen so many evidences of that since we've been up here. I moved up here just with my family, and then 2 weeks later I met Daniel and his family, and we decided to do this church plant together, and it's been amazing to see God bring a core team together just with our families. And we've met people that are a part of our team right now randomly on the street. We've met them in parks, we've met them in our neighborhoods, we've met them in Starbucks, and God has continued to add to our team. He's continued to develop relationships, and we've seen that He's been working in other people's lives the same time as He's been working in our lives. And it's been amazing to see the Spirit move. When we moved here, God gave us the passages of Luke 5 and Luke 11 to have a harvester's mentality and also to pray boldly in the Spirit. We've done both those things. We've seen great things happen in the building of a team here at Trinity Life.
So we've been here 5-6 months now. We're learning what it means to be Canadian, what it means to be Torontonian. Our core group is coming together. We're seeing people hear the gospel for the first time. We're seeing people's lives begin to change. And in a couple of months from now, we're going to launch the first expression of Trinity Life Church. But our vision is this, that over the next few years that we want to see more churches planted all throughout the neighborhoods of Toronto, because we believe that in order to reach Toronto that you need to have churches that look like their neighborhoods, talk like their neighborhoods, they know the issues of the neighborhoods, and they live in the places where they worship. And so that's our heart. We want to see church planters and people raised within Trinity Life to begin to look outside throughout all the rest of the city to plant new churches in our city, but also throughout the world. And so our vision is that God would use our mustard seed group right now to do kingdom work, to bring renewal in our city, and from our city we begin to fulfill the Great Commission all throughout the world.